Consistency is the name of the game, and you have to stay on top of the game. If you struggle with staying consistent as a creator, then this video is for you. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you all of the juice, all of the things I do to stay consistent as a creator, so you can do the same too. As a content creator, one of the main things you need to build a community, grow your audience, and also keep them engaged is to stay consistent. Let's start a business this year. Let's do this. Whether you're into beauty, fitness, comedy, whatever field that you are in, this is how I stay consistent as a creator and how you can do the same too. I hope you learn from what has been working for me, so let's get straight into it. Hi darlings, it's Danielle here with another video. Welcome back to my channel. If you're already here, thank you so much for subscribing. I love you, and if you're new here, you're welcome to join the family. Like and subscribe to see more content like this. I'm going to be sharing with you the strategies that I use to stay consistent when I had a 9-to-5, being a student, and also being a creator too as well. So all of these are summed up ways that I'm going to be showing you on how to keep on top of your game. First thing you want to do is to define your why, because before you even start showing up, you need to understand, why do you want to do this? This is your motivation. This is what is going to make you want to start showing up for your audience. Whether you want to inspire others, whether you want to share the knowledge that you have, or you simply want to express yourself. Knowing your purpose will fuel your consistency and make you show up on your journey than anything else. So you need to know what is giving you the motivation, what is going to be pushing you to do whatever you have to do. So define your why. When you are able to do that, then you know what you want to do. My why was mainly sharing my knowledge and the passion that I have for creating, and that was one thing that pushed me to keep on showing up for my audience and to keep on staying consistent. Aside that, I can also say money is also one of the ways that I show up to as well. It also pushes me because I've got to pay the bill. Next thing you want to do is to set your goals. You need to set smart goals. They need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Don't say you want to upload more videos. No. Set realistic goals. Be like, I want to upload 3 quality videos in a week. That is better than saying I want to upload more videos, because more videos in a week will give you nothing. But then if you focus on producing 3 high quality videos in a week, it's better than nothing. But mind you, you also need to understand that quantity leads to quality. So if you are starting out and you want to perfect your craft, it's okay to make mistakes, produce more content so you can refine and then make better videos. People confuse consistency with frequency. Consistency is not about showing up many times. It's not about how often you are showing up. No. It talks about how you are being consistent in what you are saying in your videos, consistent in your branding, consistent in how you show up to your audience, how they view you in general. So it's not only about showing up maybe 3 times in a week, 4 times in a week, 5 times in a week. Do not confuse consistency with frequency. Consistency is the long game. Frequency is just a part of the game. You want to establish a content workflow. As a creator, one of the things that I used to do was to just go with the flow. But if you don't have a proper workflow and you just go with the flow, you are just going to waste a lot of time in the long run. Trust me, content creation alone comes with its unforeseen circumstances, and anything can happen along the way. But it's better to have a content workflow. Consistency thrives on structure. So map out dedicated time slots from beginning to end of your content creation process. Mark out time slots for brainstorming, filming, editing, and even uploading. Treat your content creation like a job and watch magic happen. Because I have a content workflow, it's easier for me to make content. I even have an editing workflow where I have films or clips that I've recorded in my camera roll. I move them, cut them down, and then I now put them in templates that I already have, and then onto editing. When you have a workflow or a structure guiding whatever you do, it's easier for you to follow that workflow so that you stay consistent. Now, I believe this is one point that most people do not talk about, and it's very important as a creator, and that is the fact that you need to make content creation a part of your routine. Now, wait a minute, I'm going to explain. If you really want to keep on showing up and then keep on providing consistent content, it has to be part of your life. It has to be fit into the routines that you have, your day-to-day routines. So whether it is for you to set up a camera whilst you are doing your activities, for example, you're an entrepreneur, you own a business that deals with services, it's best for you to set up your camera so it can record content of you whilst you're doing other stuff. This is basically what people call B-roll. That is content that doesn't have you always talking directly to the camera like this. So when you have something like this in your routine, it makes it easier for you to create content. One thing you can do by making it a part of your routine is to learn your own schedule. Figure out what kind of person that you are. Personally, for me, I'm currently a creator and also a full-time master's student. So that means that I'm going to school and I'm also creating content. I also have my clients that I work with for content creation. When I'm going to school, I make sure that I'm able to film some content before I go. When I'm dressing up, because I make a lot of fashion content. Now, when I'm also making like day-to-day stuff, I set up my camera and then it gets content for me too as well. So I've fitted it into my routine so that I do not always have to set up a camera to officially create content. I get content on the go. The ideal creator is the one that can create from their routine. The ideal creator is the one that makes content creation their life. And I'm not talking about recording everything in your life. I'm talking about being able to fit your content into what you actually do, how you live, and that is how you'll be able to create content effortlessly. Well, not so effortlessly, because there's nothing easy about creating content. Let's be honest. Create a content calendar. Now, for someone that has difficulty planning and want to be much more structured, it will be better for you to create a content calendar. When I started off 2020, I was just going with the flow. But then things became much more easier for me when I had a content calendar set up. And I do this easily in Notion. I have a template. I'm going to pop it up on the screen. And this is where I set in the content types, the content goals that I have, what day I'm going to be posting this content, what I have to do. You need to be organized if you want to stay consistent. Quit the last minute things unless there's something that comes to you over the day. Maybe you are a go with the flow creator, because this is not something that everybody should follow. If you're a go with the flow creator, because I'm also sometimes that kind of creator that things just come to, but you need to have most of your things planned out if you plan on staying consistent for your community. Plan your filming days, plan your video scripts, and even plan your editing in advance. That way it's easier for you to stay consistent. One thing that this helps with is that it helps you not run out of ideas, because if you have a content calendar, you have the things that you want to do and you're even able to break them down into different things to spread out for a couple of days, for a couple of months, so you're able to keep on showing up. You want to empower yourself with tools, because there are tools that can cut down the time that you need to do stuff for you, especially when you want to keep on staying consistent. You can start using scheduling apps, things that can post your content for you. The scheduling app that is very good is Later. I personally do not use scheduling apps, but then for my social media clients, I use scheduling apps like Later to post the content whilst I'm away. And even Instagram itself has an inbuilt scheduling app. So all you have to, it's not an app, inbuilt scheduling feature. All you have to do is to upload the content, set the date that you want it to go live, and then it can post for you. Another app that can also help you stay consistent if you want to be much more productive on itself is Notion. Notion is very good. It can help you stay on track, take out the things that you have to do as a creator. And I know I've already mentioned it as one tool that I use to create my content calendar. So if you also want to stay on top of the game, get into using Notion. Now, I'm not the best at using Notion. I just use it mainly for creating content, but if you want a lot of ways to learn how to use Notion, there are tons and tons of videos on YouTube to learn how to use Notion better. So get on Notion, it's going to help out. Now, this is also one point that people hardly talk about. It's very important. You need to learn how to remove barriers that stop you from creating content. You know you find it difficult staying consistent and showing up. make it easier for you to be able to create content. What do I mean by this? Because I'm a content creator and I'm also a full-time master student, one thing that I do is to make sure I have set up places that are my filming spots. It doesn't have to be a perfect place. You can have your stationary filming shots set up. That is where you know you're going to be doing your reels, where you're going to be doing your YouTube, where you're going to be doing TikToks. This place can be your stationary main place setup. Now you should also think of sub places that you can set up to film content on other times of the day. So walk around your home, find different angles and different spots where you can easily prop up your phone and then be able to shoot content. Now, one thing that limits you from creating content is feeling the need to look all glam or feeling the need that you need to have something done before you can create content. And if that is what happens often, it's going to stop you from staying consistent. So what you want to do is to remove all of these barriers. One, you want to make sure that you have your filming spots set up. Two, you want, if it is be the need to always look good, always feel like you need to stay all glam to show up in front of the camera. Sometimes just go on camera without having a full face. You must have that confidence, because trust me, it's also good when your audience sees you in a state that they don't usually see you. You don't always have to have on a perfect look every single time, because you are still beautiful as you are. So if that is one thing that stops you from creating content, then that is also a barrier. Keep it out of the way. If there's also another barrier, such as you not always being able to sit down and talk in front of a camera, try different ways of filming. As long as you are able to show up for your audience, that's what really matters. Keep it in your head that it's not every time that you'll be able to have all the perfect lighting, the perfect angles, the perfect shot every single time. Because if you focus way too much on this every single time, it's going to limit you from creating. Once again, like I said, quality leads to quantity. They go hand in hand. So in your strive for quality, do keep in mind that you need to put out more content to get the best. So don't always focus on producing high polished content every single time. I mean, sometimes the videos that are even not high quality produced are the ones that do better. So make sure you're doing a variety of styles when it comes to your content creation process. Content batching. I call these my power hours. As someone who has ADHD, I know if I joke, I would not be able to produce content the way I want to. So on the times where I feel like I have a lot of energy and then I can produce a lot of content, or when that stimuli kicks in, I make sure I make a lot of content. That means producing a lot of videos at a go. Now this one is when you have been able to plan and then script out your content, because the only way content batching would be successful is if you have the content plan in place. Without a content plan, you can't do content batching. So this is basically how I batch my content. When you content batch, it helps you get a couple of videos, a lot of photos and pictures, basically a lot of content to last you a couple of weeks or even months before you start shooting content again. So you don't always have to be filming or shooting content from scratch. This is simply my basic steps for batching content. Now the mistake that most of you make is trying to film everything in one day, take everything in one day, and then also try and then edit all in that same day. Trying to film, edit, post everything in one day it's not advised. Try and allocate different time slots and day slots for your content creation process. You don't need to do everything in one day. Are you superwoman? What I do basically is to set a different day for research, get all of my ideas together. Next thing I do is to pick a day and a couple of hours where I create content. So these are basically my content hours. Currently for me as a student and a creator, I'm doing my content hours on the weekends. And even though I still have like a lot of work, I try to set some time on the weekends to film. That means that by Friday, I should have done my research and then gotten stuff together to be able to film and even script my ideas too as well. Then by Saturday, I'm able to film the content. When it comes to editing, I pick another day. So that means by Sunday, I am editing the content. Now that I'm into YouTube, things have changed because I post a new video every Sunday. So currently what I do is on Thursdays, I plan, research my ideas. And on Fridays, I make sure that I film the content. And then on Saturdays, I edit the content. And then on Sunday, you have a video like this one that you are watching currently. Now trust me, this video I'm filming currently is part of the content plan that I have for batching content for this week. And there are 3 videos. I already have my script. Here, and I'm actually shooting 3 videos all tonight. This is one of 3, and it's basically me batching content so I can have videos to push out every single Sunday before I'm able to sit down and film a lot of videos. So trust me, not every single creator you see is producing content from scratch. We literally plan out our videos and you are going to see them in another day or maybe 2 or 3 weeks later when we have been able to edit them, of course. Cut down the time that you are able to put out content by using templates. You can use templates like video templates. For example, Capcut has a lot of templates that you can use to make your content. That is, you can pick videos and photos from your camera roll, pick a template from CapCut and easily put it in it, and then you have a video ready to go. There are even reel templates that you can use. When you go on Instagram Reels, people have already created like a chopped up reel. So basically all you have to do is to select or use template and then use them in your videos. I make these templates personally even with my reels, so that if you want to use the sound that I used or want to recreate my reel, you can basically use the template that I used. Another thing is you can also have your own video templates. I have some videos that I post in a certain way, especially on my other page, the content tray, and it's basically like a hook, tips, and then a call to action. So basically what I do is that I chop that video into 5 frames, and then anytime I want to make similar videos, I find the sound that matches and then I insert them into the clips again. I do the same thing for some of my social media clients, especially when they want me to edit videos for them. And now this cuts down your editing time. Another template I can also use, which is not for videos, is also presets. If you are someone that edits a lot of photos at a go, especially when you take one shot but then in different ways, the girlies know what I mean. You don't want to keep on editing that picture the same way over and over again, so you have to use presets. My favorite presets I use are in Lightroom, and they are my own personal presets, and I love Lightroom. Lightroom sponsor me already. I love Lightroom. You can basically do a lot of things in Lightroom. And I already have a video on how I have presets and even how you can edit your photos in Lightroom too as well. I'm going to link that too as well so you can check it out. But basically, Lightroom is perfect for creating presets that you can just overlay on top of your photos, and you don't have to keep on editing over and over and over again. It cuts down your editing time because not only do these pre-made settings always stop you from making things from scratch, it serves as a guide to apply that same aesthetic on a different photo, just that you might need to tweak some things if the lighting or maybe the setting of the photo you took was different from the presets that you created. But it's basically very easy to use and it cuts down a lot of time for me whenever I'm editing. I use my presets on my photos all the time and I do not waste time editing photos. Now, if you want my presets, I have a variety of them here, before and afters, and if you want to get them, you can get a pack of my presets. I'm going to link them in the description box to get yourself some and cut down the time that you need to edit and also maintain a vibey aesthetic. You're welcome. Repurpose your content. You do not always need to reinvent the wheel every time. Don't try coming up with new content ideas every single time. You can make use of the old content that you have by trying it in different ways and trying to come up with a different style of delivering it to your audience. You can repurpose your content in the way that you edit it. If you edit it in very fast tracked or fast paced, you can edit it in a slow form, or you can add a voice over top over it, or you can basically pick a video and then put text on screen. You can even repurpose it by using your captions. Another way you can also do it is to basically take your caption and then turn it into a carousel post. There are so many ways to repurpose your content. Do not try to create fresh content every single time, especially with content that performs well. Try and then repurpose it by making it a new piece of content, and it's going to do well again, because trust me, if the majority liked it, they are going to like it again. There are very rare cases where content that performs well did not perform well again. So repost your content, but then in a different way. You're not going to die. You don't need to create fresh content every single time. I always repurpose my content. The clips that I use on Afram Danielle, I reuse them on content trade. That way I don't create content from scratch every single time. So this is basically a way to repurpose your content, and you can follow this strategy and you will always have content. Even on the days where you feel like you don't want to show up in front of the camera, you can always just pick any of those clips and then reuse them. Open to pivoting and then changing up the way you create your content and repurpose your content. Now, this is my favorite point because it's one of the strategies that I use to keep on staying consistent, and that is basically to create a content series. When you have a lot of content ideas that fall into a similar bracket or falls under an umbrella of topics, you can create a content series. You don't need to pile everything in one video. You don't need to do that, baby. You can break it down. Trust me, your audience gets overwhelmed with ideas. Your audience gets overwhelmed with content. So what you can do is to treat them like they are babies. Break it down and then give it to them little by little. That way you also have more content to boost. So instead of making a very long piece of content where you have a lot of things to talk about in one video, you can make it a series. You can have part 1, you can have part 2, you can have part 3, talk about different things, but then all under the same topic. That way you have more content to post. That way you also create bingeable content, because people keep on coming back for the next series. This works so well on TikTok. And basically what you need to do is that you can be replying to the old videos that you made, so that it sort of creates a linked piece of content so that people can watch it all through. It increases your watch time, makes you look much more resourceful, and helps you build a community in the long run, because they feel like they are following you along on a journey. Who doesn't like Netflix? I love Netflix. People might hate Netflix. Who doesn't like watching a series? People hate series. But then if you're someone that likes coming back to things, it's good for you to create a content series for your audience. Adding a content series to my content strategy was game changing, because it really helps you bridge out and branch out into different things and even delve deeper into topics that your audience loves. So don't be afraid to start a content series, and don't be afraid if it has to end, because if things have to end, that means you're coming up with a new one. It makes it much more interesting to follow you, and even makes your audience keep on coming back for more. I've talked about so many things, and I'm pretty sure you're wondering, how am I going to implement all of this if I'm someone that needs help doing this? Well, you don't have to do it all alone. If you can, and I hope you do find someone, you can get an accountability partner. I have one, and that is my man. When I have to stay consistent, he tells me that, hey, you have to do this. You remember you mentioned that you were going to film this week, do this week. So if you need to find someone like that, a content guru or something, even in the comment section, you can comment below if you're a creator, and then find someone else that might also want to be your accountability partner, so you guys stay on top of the game whilst you are checking out for each other and looking out for each other to see if you're staying consistent. An easy way to do this is to basically create a challenge for yourself. So maybe 5 days of doing this, 7 days of doing this. It even links back to the content series thingy, but then this time with your accountability partner. Your accountability partner can even be your community. So you can basically tell your community that you want to keep on showing up for this number of time, or for this number of days, and that they should do this with you. Basically, if you let your community know that, trust me, people will be in your DM saying, hey, we are waiting for the 7 of this video, why haven't you posted it yet? So if you are not finding an actual live accountability partner, you can basically ask your community to join you on this journey or this challenge that you are doing show up and stay consistent. And they will, trust me. If your community is there for you, they're going to be there for you. One thing you need to keep in mind when you're doing all of this is to make sure you prioritize your self-care. Do not burn out all in the name of trying to stay consistent, trying to stay showing up for your audience, because you are the fire, you are the candle that is lit up, that is shining light into the world of others. And if you burn out, how are you going to pour into others? So take care of yourself, prioritize yourself, take off days when you need it. Do not feel the need to keep on staying in front of the camera even when you don't want to. You will die. And then even the person who brought consistency cry is dead. You need to take your off days, and trust me, when you take those off days as a creative, you can come out much better with fresh ideas over your break, and to keep on giving back to your community like you never left. I've taken a lot of breaks. I took a lot of breaks in 2022, 2023. I was just showing up back to back. In 2022, I took a lot of breaks, and that is what actually helped me push through in 2023. So you can take breaks, but make sure you don't go away for too long. Take your needed breaks, prioritize yourself because you matter, and I'm rooting for you to win. So don't be out there trying to show up and then burn out like crazy all in the name of staying consistent. And your community can even feel it when your energy is off. So when you want to take a break and you need to take a break, take that break, baby. You won't die. Internet is not going to go away. Your community is going to stay. Those who won't follow you will not follow you, but those who are there for you will still stay, and that is what matters. Understand the need not to give up. As much as you are showing up, there are days where you may feel like you don't want to show up at all, and that is totally fine. But keep in mind that you don't want to give up, especially when the numbers are not adding up. You feel like you are posting, you feel like you are showing up, and nothing is changing. What you need to change might be your strategy. Maybe you're probably showing up in a certain way. Change up the way your content strategy is, and then look into different ways. Look at your analytics, see what's working, see what's not working. Revise whatever you are doing. That way you can show up much better. But don't give up when you feel like things aren't working out. Because trust me, all the big creators that you see right now, people doing big things, they all started from somewhere. So you also need to start from somewhere, and it didn't happen overnight. There are people that blow up overnight, but it's not for everyone. It can be for you too, but keep in mind that things do not just happen overnight. The people that blew up overnight might have been working in the background for a long time, working on the low, and it's finally picked up for them. So keep in mind not to give up. Just keep on pushing, and trust me, the things that are meant for you will surely find you, as long as you stay committed to the game and stay in it. Now I know a couple of you might be thinking, oh, what if it's something about you within and all of that? One thing that really keeps me consistent is God. Because you cannot do this without God. There are days where you don't even feel like doing anything, and then you're really looking to a higher strength. And He is the higher strength, trust me. Because when you look to God, that is when everything in all its sense becomes much better, because it's in Him that you would find even all of these inspirations, because He is the true creator. So if you're looking to create, you need to go back to be a true creator to be able to draw that energy back from Him and then be able to pour out into others. So don't forget about God. Keep Him in the equation, because if He's out of the equation, you're just doing freestyle. And trust me, in Him, things are so much better. There you have it. These are some game-changing tips. Supercharge your content and stay consistent as a creator. Whether you are just starting out or you're already in the game, I'm pretty sure these insights give you the strategies that you need to move forward and stay consistent and show up like a pro. This year, I said I was going to stay consistent on YouTube, so that is basically why I'm showing up every Sunday. And trust me, this is one of 3 videos that I'm filming for tonight, and basically it's the same when it comes to batching content. That is basically what I'm doing. So if I'm doing it, you can do it too, baby. Let's do this together. I'll see you in my next video. Comment below what you found helpful. Also comment below other ways in which you stay consistent. I would love to know other things that you guys do in particular to stay consistent, and I would want to hear them too as well. Let me know what you want to see in my next video too. If you want me to talk about something that you feel I didn't go into detail with, and I will be glad to film that for you too as well. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when I release another one, because I upload a video on this channel every Sunday. So subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Take care of yourself, darling. I love you. I'm rooting for you to win, and you deserve the world. Bye, darling.